Hello and welcome to the Trisbrina Show. We have an exciting session in store for you today. Look, this is the last show of the year. Can you believe it? And that's why we're all lit up for you. We want to do a really fun exercise with you today, something we call envisioning, and it has to do with how we're moving into and through 2022 into 2023.
Yeah.
So this morning in class, we were talking about this term Bardos. Bardos has to do with transitions. It's moving from one state to another. So we're going to kick it off with the Bardos.
Okay.
You good to go?
Yeah. Before we do, I just want to say that for me, like this transition from one year to the next, it has these two layers. There's the excitement for what is to come. There's the possibility for what is to come, and I'm so in love with that word, possibility. If I rename myself, I'm going to just become Possibility Trust God, because it's my favorite word.
It's a wonderful word.
I love possibility. And then there's also the reflection. There's the reflection into 2022 and all of the lessons that we learned and all of the contrast that we experienced and all of the maybe a contraction that caused us to expand and the choices that we made and what we learned from that. And then what did we consciously choose? What did we say yes to that has blossomed into something else? So there's so many layers to New Year's if you really want to see it as more than just
a happy
hat.
Cheers. All right. Well, she kind of covered it, really. There's this opportunity that we have to lean into possibility as we move through this transition. So today is December 29th, the time of this recording. And I don't know about you. Have you been hearing the goals, resolution, conversation going on? Is it happening for you right now? Are you thinking about the new year, or are you just trying to tidy things up and land the plane before you head in? We're going to focus on it tonight. We've been focusing on it quite a bit because we're very excited about 2023, all the things that we want to bring to our community, to you guys. But we thought we could do it together tonight as a community. So Sabrina pulled out her phone earlier and she started looking back through all of her pictures to remember and recall different stages, different things that took place this year. And so in a moment when we do our exercise, we're going to suggest that you grab your phone or open up your calendar.
Because
we're going to take a trip down memory lane. And
I was
we're going
surprised.
to pull the vibration of those beautiful moments to the surface. And then, what were you saying?
I just said when I looked back at the pictures since last January, I was like, oh my gosh, oh wow, oh, and there was that. Oh, there was that choice.
It's hard to remember
my
all the
gosh,
things.
there was that, and oh my, that. And I didn't remember all of the things, but you know, I like to take pictures, and sometimes they were of small things, and sometimes they were of big things, and sometimes the pictures were of something that seemed small in the moment, but now looking back, I see that it was this pivotal moment that by doing that thing or attending that thing or showing up for that, it actually led to that, and that.
Yeah, it's crazy all the things that take place in a year,
Yeah.
and you'll see that as you go through it. So just the last little bit on this transition, I think that there's this really amazing way to head into 2023 where you're coming in lit up already. You're very excited about it. And there's we were saying Happy New You. There's a Happy New You that's going to be there already when the so-called clock turns over into 2023. So how do we play this game? We like to think of it as envisioning. Have you noticed some of the best things that take place in your life happen because something inside you said you should do that? I don't know how you look at that, but I feel like there's an inner knowing. We talk about that all the time, that if we're listening to that beautiful inner wise self, it's serving up to us insights and opportunities that if we're too in our head, we'll miss them. So do you want to kick it off, or you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you grab your phone, grab your calendar, open it up. We'll play the game on our end as well. And let's tap into the vibration of all that is good and build some momentum before we set these conscious goals.
Tell them why they're grabbing their phone.
Sure. So once you get your phone.
Call a friend.
You're going to call a friend. You open up your photos on your phone. Hopefully you took a bunch of photos this year. Again, if you want, you can also open your calendar and then go back to January. So you have in your phone the ability to go and sort by I think it's probably called Date. And then go back in. So do you want to show us what took place in your January? Or
Show?
well, tell us
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yes. So
Give us some
so
examples
for me,
of how to play the game.
I use a Google Calendar, and I have a Google Calendar app on my phone, so I can go through calendar-wise. But I also know that I take pictures of things that touch me in the heart. So I just went back and
Mine have all the dates on the surface. I have an iPhone, so as soon as I'm scrolling through all my images, the date is up at the top, so I can see where it says January.
So you're asking me to say what I saw?
I think you already wrote it down, didn't you? You came in very prepared. Right? I didn't because I was getting the show ready.
Yeah. So I'm going to reflect back at my pictures.
Sabrina will do it, and then we can all do it in
Yeah.
the chat with her.
So I looked at my pictures and some of the first photos that I saw, and it doesn't matter if for anyone else it would be a big deal, but it felt good for you. And some of the first pictures that I saw were landscaping, were little areas in our yard being sectioned off, and pictures of designs and plants, because we moved into a neighborhood where they cut down a lot of the trees and the plants to build the houses, and it's a newer neighborhood, so there isn't a lot of what we love with the plants and the trees. And so it's a long story, but coincidentally, I contacted someone, and when she came to the door, she has worked with Wayne Dyer and Louise Hayes, and she's so same. From the moment I opened the door, the very first person I reached out to help me with designing landscaping, because I don't know anything about it, is she just looks at me and says, "So what's up with all that light?" So it was so beautiful, and those were the first pictures that I saw was of our designs. And then early in the year, I saw the team coming and marking off things in the yard, and then where would they be planted. And then
let me jump in, because Sabrina didn't start here. She already had a vision of what she wanted, or an idea of a vision. She didn't have a complete vision. She knew she wanted something to change
from the fall before. Yeah.
Because for the parents to see it through the window in their bedroom, for us to enjoy as a family when we have friends over, for them to enjoy the garden.
Yeah.
So there was a desire, and then all this incredible manifestation happened.
Yeah. So if you look at our yard, my mom calls it, what does she call it? Street view. She doesn't call it street view. Curb appeal. It's on a slant. And anyway, with mom and dad living here, and she's such an expert in gardening and flowers, we really wanted to do this all together. And so those were the first photos that I saw at the beginning of the year.
And so it's really nice to be able to, when you look at the pictures, try to remember how it made you feel. Yeah. So obviously this made you feel really, really good and very abundant.
You were so there's a house for sale a few doors down, and so we were looking it up online to see what's happening with real estate in the neighborhood. And then we looked at the picture of our house, and it was before the landscaping.
You know how Google takes a picture of your home, so Google had a picture before, and you could see how different it was.
And so I was really grateful for that.
So that's just an example. So we're just going to do one. And now you start going through your stuff and notice, and you could just use a word or two, or something that happened this year that really made you feel good. When you look at the picture and you recall that time, sit with it for a second. Go, what did you love about that? So Sabrina just explained what she loved about that, and she got to meet this really incredible designer of the yard. What brought you satisfaction and joy this year? Right? So let's just play the game together. So you're looking through your pictures. When you see one, click on it, let it light up. I'm looking at one where I'm laying on my back doing a yoga stretch, and there's a camera there. And that was really cool because we filmed something for you guys that we haven't given you yet. But that took place, and that was in, I can't believe it, January. It's already been a year since we filmed that program.
Oh my gosh. Because we were going to release it in April, but
we were going to release it.
Instead.
And so that was really cool. And there's this beautiful thing that we get to share this year coming. What do you guys see on your phone? What happened? Let's start building some momentum about the awesome stuff that happened this year. I'll keep going, and you guys write yours in the chat. You don't have to do a whole description, just I filmed a thing. I went somewhere. I met someone.
My kids came home. I went to go see them.
Exactly.
Like whatever it is that this year your heart swelled.
What amazing things happen. So I'm looking now. I'm playing, but you should be playing along. Let's see.
I've got some more.
Go ahead. Share yours.
Well, in the year before that, which would be 2020, we agreed to go and MC some events for some people that were working with a company that worked for like Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and Russell Brunson, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, so we could see how they do things. And I saw that we did 2 3-day virtual events that were so amazing and so life-changing and so fun, these full days that were so intimate with our people. We did one in the spring and one in the fall. So I saw all the footage from Thrive and Shine.
I'm with you. I'm looking at. I see a beautiful picture of Sabrina and Jennifer McLean.
I have that too.
And it's when we started hanging out more with Jennifer, and we went to Sedona for her birthday
in May.
We started doing things together for our communities, and there's been just this incredible abundance that we share with her.
But with that, so sometimes with the pictures, I remember the choices that I had to make. Like, okay, we were invited to something where we're going to fly to Phoenix and we're going to drive to Sedona and we need to be there for 5 or 6 days and we need to get a hotel. Like, there were a lot of
all the
details.
Yeah.
The flights, the car, the hotel, the expenses, who's going to be there, who's not, and or do we, like all the blah, blah, blah. And then I look back and saying yes to that was so beautiful for us, for our relationship, for the time away, for the time in nature, for the hiking, for the friendship and the new friendships that we made and the new relationships that we made and the new business connections that we actually made and deepening that. It was significant, but it only seemed like an invitation to a birthday party. And that's what's so cool.
Absolutely. So Bonnie put rainbows in her hair.
Oh, yeah.
Jacqueline took a trip to Sedona for a Vortex tour.
That's cool.
That is so cool. Love Sedona. I'm not sure. Sorry, I don't know who you are right now because the system we're using doesn't tell us. But you got to feed and kiss many giraffe.
Oh, I need to know who you are.
Lee said she completed a garden restoration. See, the things that brought satisfaction, the things that brought joy. Bonnie Carney said, I got a teddy bear. Diana said, I found my long-lost diamond earrings.
Oh, my gosh.
And wedding ring. How that must have felt to find long-lost wedding ring. Joe O'Reilly said, my daughters reunited. And Samantha with her hands on, I'm sorry, it got cut off, Joe. But your daughters reunited. Beautiful. We had Bonnie pierced her ears.
Oh, her daughter's belly, and her little baby was born in May, and the joy of their faces.
Oh, beautiful. Amara's son's wedding, that must have been a freaking highlight. Barbara says, my biggest joys were about our adult children. You must be so proud. Diana said, I did many sunrise qigongs.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. Someone here says they skied with their best friend, moved my sisters into affordable housing, and she loves it.
Wow.
Good for you. Leanne says, a friend from dancing made me my first birthday cake in years. So much love and overwhelm. I actually can feel the emotion of that one. Kathy says, I have pictures of the broken handle from a washer box, the hot water supply. They make me happy because replacing the washer box costs hundreds of dollars, but it occurred to me to call the manufacturer who sent me a replacement for free out of the kindness of their heart. You fed a baby hippo.
Who?
Who are you?
Who's doing this stuff?
Who's doing this animal things? Write your name in the chat. Joe says, my 2 girls reunite. Okay, I think we saw that. You posted that twice. Okay, thank you. Trip to Asheville for sounds bathing training. That's Rosemary. Kristen says, I'm a crazy giraffe lady. This is Christina Eason. So she's the giraffe person. Lee said, I took a screenshot of a quote on January 4th, a couple of weeks before the universe connected me to Trisbrina and the January event that we had. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. Then my entire year became a year of saying yes to everything, Satori.
Wow.
And yes, you have. Taking friends for a boat ride on the San Francisco Bay, says Diana. So this is it. You guys are in flow now.
Debbie McMasters, my joys came from personally outliving my mind and body. How beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful Winter solstice, celebration with new friends. Dear friends gave me a surprise birthday party. First one in over 65 years.
Nancy Rose says the videos that I filmed for my brown belt.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That was a big deal. Trish says, looking back in 2022, what an amazing year. Starting with a show that she did with NFTs in New York City.
Wow.
Searchlights on the red carpet time in Times Square. It was pretty amazing.
I got to jump to Joe's. Her gorgeous grandson, only a few hours old, and she was allowed into the hospital to hold him. And with all that's going on in the world, that's so incredible.
Trish has a lot of amazing things that took place in her year, and she's put them into the chat. Beautiful. All right, so why do we do that? Because it opens your heart up.
I could hardly tell.
We're already over here getting all choked up, right? And also reading the joys of others that are connected to you in one way or another in your life.
Don't do that.
You just need to have a little bit more of a dizzy head. So now here's the beautiful next phase. We're going to take a couple of nice, beautiful breaths, and we're going to build on this momentum. I'm just looking through.
Wait, did you say anything?
I didn't tell you guys much about myself.
Tell
it's
us.
all about you guys.
Tell
about
us.
me.
We had an anniversary party, and with COVID and everything, it was really the first time we were able to invite some of our closest friends to the house for a small gathering. And we had people come from Utah and LA and Atlanta, and it was a small gathering, but it was so sweet to share with people that we had known for a long time to come and be in our house. And then we rented a boat the next day and took a little boat ride, and we had a photographer come. And that was a big deal for us, because there's a lot of pieces, and it was really fun to do that with Mom, and it was really fun to do that with the puppies that are older, and to bring different people who hadn't met each other and different friends that I have been so close to but had never been in our environment. And that was really sweet.
So the pictures are here and here. And yeah, the phone, the calendar, those things are really helpful to get us tapped back in and to be able to look at a block of time that took place in a year. But ultimately, it's what are you feeling right now? The abundance and the joy that came through in this year. And for me, it's so much about this relationship has blossomed even more. There's a love and a connection.
You leveled up?
I'm finally at your level, I think. The little trips that we took together where we just did different things.
Nothing.
Right?
Everything.
We went to Florida. There's so many things that took place in the year. Enjoying the home. So grateful for the dojo and Satori method.
Yeah.
So grateful for the method itself. So grateful for my personal practice. I can see so many times on the mat, doing the moves, learning new aspects of myself, growing into the Qigong teacher I want to be, up-leveling the business so we can help more people, inviting new people to be part of our team, which is even continuing to expand in the end of this year. The event we did in January, the Life Force coaching program that we finally released.
Huge!
Holy camole.
That's right here on my list.
This new certification students that are coming through, the work spreading into the world, the abundance where I don't worry about that kind of stuff anymore when it comes to money or bills. Like I just live in flow. Like, oh, my heart is so cracked open. And so from this place is where you want to envision. And how do you envision? We're going to close our eyes. We're just going to feel in and ask this beautiful inner knowing. What should I place my focus on as far as a goal, a desire, something for next year? And listen to it. And it might be a little big. It might even feel a little scary, right? But that's just here because it's new. And you don't need to know all the answers of how this can come into be, because you don't want to know all the answers, because there's supposed to be mystery in it. There's also supposed to be like just pointing in a direction, and then let the universe show you what it's meant to be. But gotta point in a direction.
So I'll give you a shortcut.
Here we go.
Whatever you wrote in the chat that made you feel a lump in your throat that happened this year, go there so that you can feel that feeling. Man, I did that certification. I did that. I filmed those things for my brown belt. I held my grandchild when they were moments old. Whatever it was for you, I published my first book. I see you. And feel that, and carry that feeling into the envisioning, right? Because we're looking to grow that energy. We're looking to grow that satisfaction. We're looking to grow that sense of accomplishment that helps us know we're on purpose. So you don't have to start from zero. You get to start from the greatest moment, which is a feeling. That's just going to shortcut you so fast to 2023.
All right, so let's go ahead and just take a moment here. I'm going to play a little
Just do
something.
it. Just nothing to lose.
Close the eyes. And go back into those moments that you experienced and feel them again. Let them bring emotion. See them, feel them. Feel them in your chest. How grateful. What a gorgeous year. What an incredible opportunities. Ah, what a life.
You said yes so much to you.
You grew. You gave more.
Loved more.
You allowed more.
Faced your fears.
You went beyond them.
Showed up. You showed up.
You gave more than you've given before because you're bigger now. You have more love to share. You tasted the divine. You remembered more. More awake. Wow, ultimate goal. More connected to source, to love. Lit up. How exciting. You get to have another year to play.
You relaxed a little bit more.
You trusted. You're not alone. You are so cared for.
You saw how beautiful you were a little bit more.
You know that you don't have to do all the heavy lifting. There's a divine orchestration here in concert with you. Allow the heart to ooze all over you. Possibility.
Possibility. Little more faith. You had a little more faith.
A little more faith.
You know you're not alone.
And with this energy, with this awareness, allow the inner knowing to speak to and through you and guide you as you trust and listen to it. What is the heart sharing with you? It might be a feeling. What is that feeling? That expansion. Take a moment, feel into it. Love is being birthed through you. The divine is using you as a portal for more, to express itself into manifestation through you, from spirit into physical reality. How do you want to contribute this year? When you open your eyes, write down the feeling, write down any vision. Use your mind as well. Let your mind tell you, because the heart is feeding information to the mind. I bet all the things that lit you up the most this year were aligned with your heart, weren't they? They were soul goals. Let's let the soul goals come out, and in a moment we'll share them in the chat. What are some things that you're really excited about participating in the manifestation of?
Inviting in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's easier to reflect back on what has happened than it is to have the courage to say what we're open to, because it seems unknown. I'll tell you the image that came to me, and I'm okay with things not making sense at all, but I saw a little egg of silly putty. If you ever played with silly putty as a kid. And I saw the silly putty being opened and that little blob being taken out. Do you know what silly putty is?
Yeah.
And then I saw it being stretched this way, that way, this way, that way. And I know what that feeling is. That feeling is I'm open to stretching, to be more, to seeing what the shape can happen, more beyond the comfort zone of the egg, outside of the egg. What will happen if the putty of what I am stretches into areas that it hasn't before, into the unknown without judgment, in a playful way. Silly putty's playful.
It's silly after all.
It's silly.
Look at
and to take it out of that egg. And so, I mean, that's just the way that my sweet little inner being plays with me, is in these visions. Nothing specific, but in each and everything that I do, can I just be stretched like silly putty? Is it okay to be playful in all directions, to be something I haven't been, to say things I haven't said, to be courageous in situations that felt tight before?
These are beautiful shares starting to come through. What the vision is speaking, the inner knowing. What else? What do you want more of in this life? You know, you get what you expect, they say. What's coming from the soul goal in our method, the way we teach, is as you clean up your energy system, get your energy flowing, and the energy starts to rise, you start to feel more tapped into heart center, and there is knowledge and wisdom inside. And then it continues to rise up to the brain, and the brain becomes aligned to the soul goal. And that's the envisioning process, is listening within and being guided rather than externally oriented. You can create magic in the external, and you should, because you're here as this beautiful extension of the divine to express and create.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you know this, but one of the things that happens with Qigong training is you take this base energy known as Jing, and you purify and cultivate the Jing. It turns into Qi. And the Qi, it rises and it matures at the heart center. And it carries this energy up into the brain and beyond. It's known as Shen. It's spiritual energy, and it connects you to the source of all that is. That's the journey or the path of awakening. But there's also a journey when you bring spirit into the physical world. This is the path of manifestation. So you take that Shen, that spirit energy, and you bring it in. Its energy is Qi, and it becomes physical, becomes the Jing. And your body becomes expanded into other physical reality. So you take the energy and you shape it through the physical form into reality. But it's guided constantly by that connection to spirit. That's when humans say they feel so happy because it's aligned, versus getting something externally and it's not lined up. So that's why we call it envisioning. We think it's the most important way to set a goal and create a goal is by following this. And we just wanted to bring that to the community tonight so that as you're setting your resolutions and clarifying your goals, perhaps you understand now, build momentum, tap into the joy frequency and the satisfaction that you already felt in the year. Bring that into your moment of meditation. Ask the question, what would I love more of? Yeah. Listen from that place, because you're already in joy. The heart is receptive, it's ready to go, and it starts to serve up more wisdom and clarity of things that will be aligned to you. And then you go about creating that. And so thoughts become things, as we know, but thoughts also carry action. Feelings. So there will be actions that are required. Yeah. All the things happening around here didn't happen because we sat on our thumbs or sat on our butts and twiddled our thumbs.
We sat on our thumbs and twiddled our butts.
Typically don't sit on my thumb.
I think the feeling, for me, it's been so important to not need to be logical, to somehow step outside of that and to let the feeling be as big as the feeling is and not worry about the exact steps. But if you can hang on to more of the feeling, what you want to feel more of, in this faith and trust and expectation and ready to move forward, right? Because my putty has to want to be stretched. In the moment, I can't say, oh no, I'm good in this blob in my shell. In that moment, I have to go, okay, this is what I asked for. Let's stretch. And in that moment, there will be a moment that things could feel uncomfortable, right? Because anything new feels uncomfortable because the subconscious mind says, hey, I don't know the agenda for this. It's uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And just to know that it's all going to be okay. Because unless we feel stretched and unless we feel something new, things are going to be exactly the same. And that's why most people say they want something in the new year, but they don't really, because they want things to stay the same and yet be different. And you can't have both.
So trust those inner wise feelings and allow this life, this incredible creative energy to do a lot of the heavy lifting. You don't have to go into the year feeling heavy or judging the past year. You know, we hear people saying, I can't wait till this year's over. 2023 is going to be better. No, it won't be any different than the vibration you're holding right now. Just because a clock calendar date turns over doesn't change your life. You change your life with your vibration and therefore the actions you take based on that vibration. So I know every now and then it's like, oh, yay, we're going to focus and visualize. It's so beautiful. Look, people, come on. This is how creation takes place through us. We have to get clear and you have to have an intention. And so when you have aligned intention, you can do so much magic in your life. So we really hope that this helps you to feel very excited and open to possibility, your new name, for 2023. And you know what?
Just call me Pussy.
You Pussy. We want to hang out with you for this next year. We want to do more fun stuff together. This show's going to continue to expand. We have goals for the show. If you saw our goal list, you'd be like, that's a lot of goals. They're really good goals. We feel really lit about them. The show's expanding. Our store's expanding, our opportunities expanding, our dojo's expanding, our certifications are expanding, our team is expanding. Like, there's a lot going on, and it's so exciting. And if our mind comes in and goes, how are we going to do all that? That's the small thinking brain, because anything is possible. There are other people who want to play. There are other people who align with the vision and the message of what this is. They're going to come in and play in the expansion field. So you just have to be like this beautiful divine orchestration component and just allow creation to take place.
And
make it fun.
If I can cling to, and I encourage you to cling to, if you set the intention from what you want to feel more of, and you're solid in that, you are solid, not 99%, but you are 100% solid in that. You're 100% solid.
All in.
So that when all the of the mind comes in, you go, baby, I'm solid.
No,
I'm solid in this. Then you know it sort of lets the fear go away. And you know that whatever is happening is exactly as it should be, even if you don't understand it in the moment. right? I had some situations a few weeks ago. I'm like, wow, okay, right now I can be really disappointed because things did not work out the way that I thought they would, but I don't believe in that.
No.
I don't believe in that. I only believe that things work out perfectly for me wanting to feel more of what I want to feel more of, and I don't understand this particular situation, but I will eventually, because it needed to happen for something else to happen. And you've got to have that strong faith in order for me to live a truly miraculous life. 100%.
100%.
100%.
On that note, it's date night.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. It means
Yeah.
everything to us.
We love this time with you, and we love
Do you have any call to action or not really?
I could have a call to action. Are we ready for this? Guys, this is a big deal.
This is a big deal, and it might not be all ready, so don't email us about any problems. We'll fix them later.
We'll fix them later, but you are the first to see it.
There's an
Go there.
There's an all new program that we just filmed this week and had edited. It's the AM Qigong Wake Up and Flow. It's 7 moves in 7 minutes to get rid of morning aches, pains, and stiffness and get you energized for the day. And it gets you a free ticket for our upcoming 5-day energy detox and reboot event, which kicks off January 10th for 5 days of classes, where on day 1 we're going to do healing Qigong. On day 2 we're going to do joint mobility and movement medicine and things for your spine. On day 3 we're going to do breath work and meditation. On day 4 we're going to look at the whole picture of how everything with your physical body, energy body, conscious mind, and subconscious mind all work together. And on day 5 we're going to deal with age-related muscle loss and creating greater bone density, and how you can use the energy arts to create more fitness in your life. You get all of that when you go to that link. You're some of the very, very, very first people to ever see this new program, AM Qigong Wake Up and Flow. So you'll have to let us know what you think about it. I think it's amazing.
I pinned it to the top. You can only do it on mobile. All right.
There's your cake.
Happiest of lives. Happy New You.